Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Race of Champions 2012. My name is Ollie Woods, I'm your commentator for tonight, joined at the moment by the wonderful Nick Rowland, who will be driving later. That could be fun, multitasking. Both really excited about tonight and can't wait to show you some good fun racing, hopefully. Nick, what have you got to say for yourself?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a fantastic evening of racing, to be honest. It's a very unique event, the Race Champions, very short style track, and the mod only been released merely about an hour ago. I think everyone's having a bit of fun just practicing at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. I think what part of the fun of the series is that actually everybody only gets the mod files about 45 minutes before the race starts, so it's nice limited time to learn it, and also a nice level playing field as well. Are you hoping you'll do better than you did last year?
Oh, I hope so, yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to progress on with team up with Timu this year, so hopefully we'll be able to progress, and obviously hopefully he has no more issues like he did last year.
Yes, for those who weren't around here last year, Timu Toika had a wonderful moment where he managed to lag right through a wall and hit his opponent in the rear of the car, I think it was. And as we go here, we've got Mark Fuller and Pavel Lokanovsky taking off as they go for the second race of their heat. They've already had Lucas Euler and Jana Vaninen racing. Unfortunately for Jana, Lucas, the 2012 Super League champion, was just too strong. They're off as we speak in the Legend car, looking very posh and something like out of the 1940s maybe. As we go, it looks like Pavel's ahead so far, but we'll soon tell when we get to this straight line that denotes the finish line between both sets of tracks. Remember, everyone does 2 laps of both the short and the long track. And I think Mark is 2.7 seconds off at the moment according to that, but you can never tell what's going on until we see it. It's a nice little track here, isn't it, Nick? It's a nice kind of layout with both short and long corners.
Yeah, I believe Wembley was used a couple of times for the Race Champions, and this is one of the more challenging tracks that were created over the past few years anyway. Before, I believe they're actually going to the real Race Champions going to Thailand, I believe, this year. So there's various iterations of it that have happened in many different circuits, but this seems to be one of the tightest and most technical.
Yes, that's certainly the case as Mark Fuller goes around the technical area right now. Only 0.9 of a second in it, so this could be anyone's race. Mark Fuller hoping to take a second win and make it very easy for him and for Lucas to progress to the second round tomorrow night. So tonight we'll be doing all the 8 preliminary races. Remember, there are 5 heats in total, possibly. First 4 heats are make sure every driver gets to go against each other as they're paired off, and then the 5th race, if they're still tied, someone else gets a chance. They get to choose who will race in that one to decide who goes through to the next round. And it's looking quite tight as we go around more hairpins here with Mark Fuller. Lokanovsky hitting the straight. It's looking really tight. And I think Fuller just took that. 2-0. And Pavel flips off in frustration, I guess. And everyone seems to be pretty happy looking at the chat here. Lucas, big smile on his face, and it's 2-0 to Fuller and Euler.
Yep, so it goes to a third race now, which will be Lucas out on track again, I believe, against... I'm not too sure which one actually driver goes out next.
It'll be Pavel, because Jana's already raced.
Right.
So, yes, we'll have Lucas Euler versus Pavel Loknowski. He gets his second chance to try and prove his worth tonight in front of the baying crowds of Wembley Stadium. Now, I've been there probably about halfway around the track, actually, watching a gig. The atmosphere when you have 70,000 people in there's electric, and obviously it's not quite like that tonight, but sure, it's a very prestigious occasion for the drivers to be taking part in. So we got people here from the Super League, we got them from the Super Cup, we got from the Masters, Formula Challenge, and the World Sports Series, I believe. So every series that has been taking part in GPVWC this year so far, apart from the Winter GT, is represented. Obviously there's quite a lot of crossover in those. Do you reckon the Formula Challenge drivers here could spring a surprise, Nick?
Potentially, yeah. There's obviously we've got representatives from each individual series that have been run this year, so it could be interesting to see how these low category drivers, like in FC, for example, actually fare against the Super League drivers.
Yeah, well, you have to remember, of course, that quite a lot of them will be trying to impress for Super League Drive next year as well. As they're off, and Pavel hitting the chicane straight away, looking good. Lucas has the slightly more technical track first. Notice the Formula 1 car in the middle there. Not quite sure why that's there. Maybe as a race for someone to pick that up and have a spin in it afterwards. I don't know.
I believe it was the promo of the Red Bull in 2008. That's the reason they had it there at the time, as they both crossed the line for the first time. And then there will be, this is basically their full flying lap. It's like a half lap before they enter onto a full lap. So they'll need to do a full lap of the circuit before they actually get a first cross time.
Oh, we'll have a quick look at Pavel here, who nearly quickly took himself out, but he's back on and he's racing along the bridge now. Looking really good, looking like he's back in the race. So he might have a lot of work to do against the 2012 champion. And there, as we see, Lucas Euler goes ahead, flying in front of Pavel Loknowski by about 3.5 seconds. There.
Yep, 3.5 splits the pair of them at the moment, and Lucas has got this Legends car hooked up straight away. He looks very, very composed in it.
Have you had a chance to drive the Legends car yet, Nick?
For about 5 minutes, so that's going to be fun when I get on track anyway, in a bit. So, but yeah, it's a very tough little car to drive. The rear end of the car really steps out very fast, and you've got to try and control the slide more so than anything.
Fair enough. I think that was part of the challenge here tonight. There's a couple of cars going around later on. I think the Peugeot 207 will be the other car that we see out on track tonight. There are other cars scheduled for tomorrow if we can get them out, and if the mechanics can get them tuned in time. Lucas is running away with this, but it looks at 3 seconds in the last split. Maybe it's all over after this race. I think we'll still have the 4th race to make sure that everyone gets a fair go. And there we go. Lucas Euler takes the win. And he's looking like he's about 5 seconds ahead of Pavel there. Oh,
spins across the line as well. It's a good work there from Pavel. It's a full 7 seconds that he ended up going across the line in front. So Lucas comprehensively beating Pavel there.
So that means that Lucas has won both of his races, and Mark Fuller wins as well. So whatever happens in this race, they're going through. But we'll have Janne Vannon versus Mark Fuller now. For those of you watching, I believe Team Fuller and Euler is in the white car, and Janne Vannon and Pavel Loknowski are both in the black car. We haven't worked that out by now, that is. So we're just waiting on them on the grid. Kind of a weird situation here, isn't it, Nick, when you've got a dead rubber race?
It is, but I think, again, like you were saying before, it just shows what the drivers can do in these cars. And Mark Fuller had a good first race, so we'll have to see how he fares now against Janne Vannon.
Yeah, well, Mark Fuller has had a bit of a strange season as a race driver. This last year he got into the 2nd round with Bart de Vos, but then didn't get through, taken out by our own league admin, Dave Carr-Smith, as well as Rick Scott. And he's got the highest 12th this year in the Super League. Not bad considering how the ST car was driving. And they're off now for the 4th race of their heat, the final race of the heat. Janne through the twisty section straight away. And Mark going over the bridge. Looking good.
It looks like Janne's battling with the front of that car straight away, so might be able to capitalise as they cross for the first half of the lap, then they go into the in-section now for Janne Vanden, as Mark will now take around the outside route and go underneath the bridge.
Janne really struggling there through the tight curves of this section. Maybe this car is a little bit of a handful. But then again, he's been driving the Formula Challenge car, which on my rubbish ability is also quite a bit of a handful. And he goes over the bridge there. We've got Mark Fuller having a little wobble as he comes down the straight, but now round the corner.
Definitely got the advantage though here at the moment as he just crossed the line. He's got 1.1 second advantage of Janne Vanden at the moment as they go into this third crossover point, but it will be the start of the second full flying lap.
Could this be a flying full clean sweep for Mark Fuller and for Lucas Euler? We'll soon find out as Mark navigates those twisty curves as he hits the bridge. And Janne's looking good, a little bit twitchy going around the corner. I just love the way this track works because the cars just meet up in the middle. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, it's very, very technical. So the gap's obviously now changed around again, but now Mark will have the shorter run back to the line as he will go underneath the bridge this time for Mark Fuller in the white car, White Legends car, as he will flick into the very technical infield section, right and then left before the run to the line. We'll see where Janne is, and he's just going over the bridge now. So it's actually quite a little bit tighter, but it looks like Mark's still going to have that advantage.
Oh, and I think that's kind of decided
the final corner there.
And he's hit the inside of the corner, and I think he's lost definitely a wheel and most of the front of his car, and probably his pride as well. I think it's safe to say that that's the end of the race there. 4-0 to Mark Fuller and Lucas Euler, and Janne Vanden retires with that accident there. Oh, that's a real shame. I was hoping to see them finish the race there, Nick.
Absolutely, but it's Mark and Lucas that are the first ones of the Race Champions 2012 to progress.
That's brilliant. The first qualifiers are through, and we're getting ready for the next race right now. I think next up we have got David Gaspers and Eric Tveit versus Borna Spoljaric and Scott Bennett. What do you think of this pairings, Nick?
I think this is going to be this will be a little bit closer possibly because Gaspers and Tveit against Spoljaric and Bennett are all four pretty quick drivers. Gaspers in particular have done quite well towards the end of the season, and Borna is a particular fan of tin top racing, so I suspect we'll see a lot from Borna in this race.
This is going to be a really, really interesting battle. We've got David Gaspers, who did really well to finish in the top 3 this year in the Formula Challenge. Decently quick, and then in one drive for my very own Woods Racing team, he came 9th. Fortunately, things towards the end of the season meant he didn't then feature in any more Super League sessions. And we got Borna, as you say, the World Sports Series champion. He's in the black car, David Gasper's in the white car. I think we're getting ready to go. About 10 seconds till the off now. This could go either way. I think most people had their money on Borna at the start, especially with Scott Bennett, who's been proving himself in the tin tops this year, especially the Masters Novice Cup champion. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Gasper's slow as we go around the first corner. There he goes, takes the hairpin, and Borna's flying.
Yeah, Borna straight, he leapt off the line, he got it around the first part of the corner really, really well, slid the rear of the car out, and beautifully balanced and controlled it as he hits the infield section now. And Borna looks like he's got a grasp on this straight away. He's got a little bit wide though towards the end of the first run, but nevertheless he's going to come across the line comprehensively in front of Gaspers at the moment. But it's obviously now they've got to go the longer route round now for Borna before they get back to the line.
Yeah, so the split there was 2.1 seconds, but you can't really read into that until we go through the second split, which is when they've both done the same amount of track together. This is looking really good, this race. Borna looking like he's got the measure of David, but you never know. It did all change on one corner.
It nearly just did there because Borna was very, very slow, but he's still got enough of an advantage at the moment as he crosses the line there. Ooh, not quite.
0.065
I
a
thought he
second
had got it, but not to be. He went very slow over the bridge, and it's just caught him out there. But nevertheless, he's going to push on and try and bring that gap back down.
There's one thing we learned from Borna Spoljaric in every series he's taken part in. He never gives up. He's looking at it wobbly as he hits the hairpin there. Gasper's coming around the corner as well. It could be anyone's game. We've still got that all-important last lap to see, but it looks like Borna's got the measure at the moment. But then again, David's got the shorter track to come.
Yeah, it's a question now if Borna has been able to make that gap up, because it did look like he had the advantage. He reached that second to final corner where he understeered off the bridge, and Gasper's got a lot of time back there as Borna now heads for the bridge for the second time. Crosses it over, and we should see Gaspers on the left-hand side. Oh, he's at the edge of the bridge again. Now this is going to go to Gaspers, I think. As long as he gets the final corner right, it doesn't.
Could be an absolute. I would say there we go. David Gaspers takes the win. 1-0 to Gaspers and Tveit. Who was expecting that, huh? Great race there, right down to the wire, and I think Borna will probably be kicking himself right there.
Oh, absolutely, I think Borna will be kicking himself because twice over the bridge he just had that slight incident. And it's cost him, unfortunately, there, but he'll be back for vengeance. We've now got Scott Bennett against Eric Tveit, who Eric actually had quite a good one in the Masters series towards the start, and he's up against Scott, who seems to have a roller coaster of a time at the moment.
Yes, Eric Tveit, one of the 2 drivers other than Dave Crossmith to take a race in the Masters, winning at Monza straight away at the opening of the season. Scott Bennett also doing really well in the Masters. He ended up taking the Novice Cup quite easily, really, winning quite a few of the races as in novice class right there. And he's been all over the place in terms of his open wheel kind of achievements this year, but if there's anyone who believes in themselves, it's probably Scott. And we're getting ready to go. And they're off. Nice start there from Eric Tveit. Just a little bit quicker off the line from him rather than Scott Bennett. Now I've lost my picture. Fail. Right, bear with me a second. There we go. Here's Eric. And it's going around the corner under the bridge. Nicely done. A bit of a lock up there as he comes around. Got looking good as it goes into that tight corner before the bridge. Could go either way. And remember, it's the advantages with Eric.
Yeah, well, he's had the shorter first run there for sure, but now he'll head into the infield section.
Long way ahead by the looks of it.
It looks like he is a long way ahead, but obviously Scott will now make up the difference in this part, as Eric will now sweep around the hairpin before heading over the bridge, and this is where Borna had problems last time, so let's see if Eric can get this one right. He jumps over the bridge, hits the brakes, yep, spot on there, and he will sweep left. Now, how far behind Scott? He's about a corner behind, so Scott's pulled a little bit of time back, but it's the advantage is 3.3 seconds to Tveit going on to the second lap.
That's quite a lot of an advantage. It's gonna. Oh, Scott's spun. I think this one's probably all over as his spin's coming out into that hairpin there. Not looking good for Bennett. He's got to kind of hope that Tveit has an issue himself now. Otherwise, this one is all but over. And they're 2-0 down, staring defeat in the face. Now, I'm not sure that people would have predicted that, but this is the unpredictable nature of the Race of Champions.
Absolutely, as we go on to the final lap now, and it is looking a little bit of an unprecedented task for them to come back, but it can be done. They're 2-0 down, and obviously there's potential of 5 races, so if Borna gets it all together for the next race, then Borna may be able to bring it back to 2-1, and then it's anyone's game after that.
Oh, Bennett hits the inside of the corner there, right into the wall. I think he's probably given up a little bit inside. I hope not, for Scott's sake, but see how it goes. We've got Tveit taking the nice slot line, and there it is, all over. Tveit wins it by quite some margin.
Yeah, quite comprehensive in the end, but nevertheless, it's a good effort from Scott. And now we will go on to the next battle, which I believe will be Borna against Eric, will it?
I'm not sure. We'll soon find out in a moment. It looks like it's going to be Bennett versus...
Bennett Gaspers first. Okay.
Thank you, sorry. Yeah, Bennett versus Gaspers, looks of it. They get ready on the grid. This is going to be a straight shootout to decide who goes through. Well, that is if Gaspers wins. Not if he wins, then Gaspers wins and goes through his fight, and Bennett and Spoljaric are out. Nice bit of banter there from X5 saying you have 4 corners to crash. As we wait for the start, about 10 seconds to go now. What must be going through their minds? Especially Scott, knowing that he has to be inch perfect to be able to take the win here and to be able to keep himself in the fight. Lights out, away we go, and David Gaspers again with a great start. Looking good as Bennett comes through the first corner. Didn't make a mistake this time, that's the corner that he spun on. He'll be hoping that he can keep it up this time. Gasper's looking very close to the curb there as he wheels away onto the next corner. As I said, a nice little mixture here between the quick corners and the big straights and the really technical bends that make it much more difficult for the drivers.
Yeah, it looks like Scott's been a little bit more tentative at the moment. He started that.
Is that what I saw there?
Yeah, he's tagged the ball twice now. So Scott's still struggling a little bit, but he's got it more under control than what he had a moment or so ago. But it's there again as well. So he's really pushing it. He wants to try and get one of them back, but it's not looking too promising at the moment. And I think Jaspers is doing the job.
I think he's kind of got a hope on a mistake here as we go around the corner towards the finishing straight for the halfway stage of the race. Looking really good. Oh, as Bennett is probably, what's that, about 2 seconds behind? Yeah, 1.6 seconds as they cross the line. All to play for here, but looking more like it's going to be Gasper's day. As Bennett negotiates that tough, tight corner. There, here comes Gasper's. Nice kind of open sweeper, a little bit tighter than you'd hope for, but still looking good. Perfect apex there as he takes the corner. Oh, Scott's hit the wall on both sides of the corner there. This could really cost him here. And Gasper's already round to the final lap. I think this is probably going to be David's race, but he's locked up there, I think, just as he came through the corner. Oh dear, someone wall riding there. I think that was the Tom Parker style, and he's just having a bit of a tank slapper through the corner. I think this is going to go to Gasper's as he hits the bridge. Comes around the corner. One more corner to go. David, you can do it. And there we go, David Gaspers wins the race. And that's going to be 3-0 to the white team.
Scott hit the wall again then as well as he come out the final corner, and he's across, but it was a fair way behind in the end.
And he crashes it. I'm sure there's a law against that, crashing off to the finish line, but he probably doesn't care right now. It's a shame. But then we'll have the fourth race again, another dead rubber between Spoljaric and Tveit. Hard to know what's going to happen here. I know that Born is close race. Yeah, it should be a close one. I think Spoljaric has a bit of a reputation for sometimes having a bit of a fiery head, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Scott's just walked off, disbelieving, not very happy in himself, I'm sure. He won't make tomorrow's final.
That'll be 3-0, and this is obviously just for honours now, but we'll have to see how we go with these two. Just in a bit of a fun shootout now, I guess.
Oh, it's worth a watch, I'm sure. Hopefully it'll be a really good race. I think every race tonight will be really good fun, especially if you're out there on the track.
Well, it's what it's meant to be, the end of season, so Race of Champions is a bit of fun and a bit of entertainment in a short, sharp track. So, like you said, it was only 45 minutes before the mod was even released, so these guys are literally learning as they race, which is probably even more impressive.
Let's face it, 9 months of hard work on the track in whichever series, and it all boils down to this. Sure, the medals have been given out and the trophies for the other competitions, but this is where the pride ends. And they're off. Nice start from both drivers, I think. Borna rushing towards the hairpin to start off with. Takes it nicely, nice and tight there. And Tveit going around the little first chicane. Looking good. Spoljaric going all out, he's taking that corner nice and tight again. Ooh, a bit of a tank slapper though as he comes around the hairpin. Bit of a spoon curve, that one there. And Tveit looking good, I think. Yeah, looking very good as he come around the corner and towards the start-finish straight. And there we go, Tveit looks like he's ahead to me.
He is, but this will be now the full lap. Oh, Born's gone a little bit wide though into going to the first section. He just tagged the ball ever so slightly, so he'll need to try and pull this back. And it looks like Tveit had quite a nice healthy advantage there as they went over the line for the first time. But obviously the Born is on the shorter run now, and let's see what it is like. Really, they're side by side. It's gonna be so close for the
This could go either way. It doesn't matter, well to them, but it doesn't matter in the grand old scheme of things. And it's Tveit ahead, just about 0.4 of a second. Oh, and it's Borna just locks up there into the hairpin, looking a bit just crazy as he comes around the corner. Tveit looking good as well, going just under the bridge now. This could be anyone's game, but you'd think that Tveit has got the advantage, the confidence after winning his other race.
Looks like it, and Borna's just come over the bridge now. Looks like Tveit's actually stretched that lead ever so slightly now as well, so looks like Borna is struggling more so as they go on to the final run. So Tveit will have the longer route, whereas Borna will go all the way around the outside underneath the bridge and back into the infield section.
Borna trying a bit of drift there as he goes around the chicane into the hairpin. Gap just about 2 seconds here. Still all to play for as we've seen before with people spinning off. This Tveit goes over the bridge. And round the corner, there we go. Looking nice. And this is really close.
Very, very close between the pair of them because Borna's in the final corner pretty well, but Tveit's got it, has he? Yes,
Tveit wins, yeah.
0.28 I think that was.
Yeah, 0.28 seconds right there. 4-0 to fight and the Gaspers. What a surprise.
Yep, so they progress, and we will now lose, unfortunately, Born Spalark.
And Scott Bennett as well. I think words will be had after the race there. Next up, we've got Reed Heasterbeek and David Stanton taking up Phil Collin and Ben Warren right there on the track. Oh, no, I think it's changed now.
Oh, it's me. Right,
yeah,
I will be back after my races then.
No pressure for me then. Good luck, Nick. Take care. So, we've got Nick Rowland and Timu Toika versus Boyd Bryson and Scott Dixon. Miles Dixon. Scott Dixon's the one that goes around ovals every day. So this is going to be a really great battle. We've got Nick Rowland, who we've been listening to for the past 20 minutes. Second in the championship in the Super League. Absolutely dominated with his own team, Midnight, and having a break this year, surprisingly. And we've got Timu Toika, famous creator of the Toiked lag through the wall move that we hopefully won't see this time. Apparently he's sorted all his problems out, and he's actually done really well at the end of the season. Second in one of the races in the Masters. And, Boyd Bryson is we're trying to find Boyd Bryson. He's not looking like he's here at the moment. We'll wait to see what happens with this race. Okay, looks like it's changed. No, is it changing? Still trying to decide here. Our team admin who's running this race, Dave Carl-Smith, he's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And it looks like we've changed the race now. I don't know if Nick will be joining us again. Are you there, Nick?
I am. I'm just trying to work out which race was meant to be going on, but it looks like Dave's changed anyway. So it'll be Jim and Christoph versus Ari and Will Tringas.
So it's a bit of a torrent battle here. Jim Paresis, the Greek gun, absolute diamond on the track in the Formula Challenge, dominated the season. He will be racing along against Ari Nieminen, who is also a touring driver, has done really well this season in the Formula Challenge, despite problems with, I think, his gear changing at one point. And he also did quite well in the World Sports Series earlier in the year with the Porsches, which is probably the nearest to racing we've seen today. They're both in Peugeot 207s, French cars, reliable. It'll be a really good race, and we're nearly in there. Who's your money on, Nick?
I think these guys are very, very good, and obviously Jim's got a lot of experience. So I think it'll be Jim for this one.
You may be right, and they're off. Nice clean start from both. They both go around the first corner. Oh, Therese is a little bit wide. It takes to the hairpin. Nieminen has got the easier first set round, so we'll have to wait another lap to see just how they fare against each other. As Therese takes the hairpin, looking a lot better this time over the bridge. And Nieminen, it's going to be close as we come round for the first split.
These little 207s look a lot more controlled than what the Legend cars are, but they're still managing to wall ride a little bit as Jim flies through that first left-hander, which is very, very tight as he goes underneath the bridge this time before they end their first laps.
Looking good here. Paris has a little bit of dust coming off his car there. Nieminen just goes over the bridge. This looks like it's going to be Jim's lap. We'll see how they come as they go around the final corner. There we go. Jim Paris is ahead of Ari Nieminen. 1.2 seconds the gap, but it's all to play for still. We've seen bigger gaps come down before here at the Race of Champions. Nieminen takes that corner, he's looking good, but is Paris looking better? That's the question.
You can tell the difference between these cars well because the front of the 207 just flicks into the corner and they're away, whereas there's a lot more control required for the Legends cars as they come across the line for onto their final lap now between the two Torrent guys of Jim and Ari. As Jim has been hitting, that's probably the first little mistake he's probably made under braking there, but he's been very composed at the moment as Jim Paresis.
You'd say with Jim taking the split on the third lap and now having the shorter track to do that he's got a good chance of taking this.
Yeah, well and truly, he's way, way out in front. He's going to dominate this run. He does indeed. Comes across the line, and it's a 2.7 seconds, I think it was.
Yep, 2.781 seconds to be precise. Worth pointing out that these cars are actually much quicker on the shorter track, about 4 seconds as our producer has just told us. Hi Simon. That's looking good for Jim. I've just dropped my little phone here that's telling me what's going on. Here we go then. Rodriguez, the champion. taking on Christoph Liechtenstein. Now, Christoph's had a great season as a racing manager, his first in the Super League, and he finished really high up with Green Stage Racing, mostly thanks to a certain Dave Carl Smith, absolutely beasting in most of the Super League tracks.
Yep, absolutely. Tringus was the reigning world champion as well, because that was with Lee Morris, was it, last year?
Yes, it was. Yep. Lee Morris, sadly not here today, couldn't make it. Confirmed alongside Mr. Carl Smith and Nordgen next year, which is going to be a very, very interesting partnership. Met with howls of It's Not Fair and things like that at the GPVWC day on Sunday. If you missed it, why on earth weren't you there? Unless you were like thousands of miles away, in which case we'll let you off. And they're off. William Tringus going around the nice first longer bit, but with the nice little chicane there. Bit of brake dust coming off. Christoph Liechtenstein takes the corners. Been good. No kind of locking to talk of there. Tringus looks like he's just about in the lead at the moment, I think.
He absolutely does. Looks like he's definitely got a lead there. It's not. I don't think it's a massive lead, because obviously now they change over and it'll be when they get to the end now. So we'll see how Will Tringus navigates the inner section of the track before it goes over the bridge.
That's 1.8.
So it looks like he's really diving the nose of this car in well, though. No, he's tipped on the grass there. He went over the quite large curbing and dips into like the sand grass there, and it looked like it cost him. But he definitely does still have the lead, though, because I think Christoph may have touched the wall there as well. So
yeah,
it's about a second advantage to Will Tringus at the moment.
Little mistake there from Liechtenstein coming through the last corners there.
Tringus hit the wall again. He let out the throttle way too early, and it clipped the inside barrier, but he's got away with it just about.
Got to have kid gloves when driving around this track. It's worse than Monaco for width. Tringus is trying his hardest to test that. Comes around the corners. Christoph looking a little bit behind here. 2 or 3 seconds. We'll soon see as they cross the line. It's 2.6 seconds. But Tringus has got the much tougher inner section to do now. Can he keep it on the track? Can he manage to keep it away from the wall without bashing too much of his wheels and suspension out? Hits the bridge. Good. Yeah, it's going to be Tringus all the way here.
Will Tringus is going to come across the line, and he's going to beast this one from Christoph, and he comes across the line in about 1.7 seconds, I think that was.
1.8, I think we've got on the official timings, but that's pretty good lead considering how much he was struggling on that first couple of laps. Good work from Tringus there. I think that's 1-1, isn't it?
I believe so, yep. So it's Tringus and Liechtenstein. And next one will be Jim Paresis. He'll be next out on track against Will Tringus. So the 2 winners.
This could decide it. We'll see how things go in the next race, but this could well be the decider, depending on. Well, it's the battle of the Titans, really, isn't it? The 2 winners of the last 2 races.
Yep, the first split one we've had. So we will go into the 3rd race with Jim Paresis against Will Tringus in these little Peugeot 207. I think they're actually set up for rally-style cars as well, so it's, they're even more exciting to drive these little 207s. Yeah, we just wait for the last few seconds before they join the grid.
I'll ask you that in a minute then, Nick. Here we go. The lights are going on. Both drivers revving up, getting ready for the race. And it's go. Nice start from both of them. Looking good. Paresis possibly with a little advantage there, but you can't really tell until you get to the first split and maybe even the second split. Tringus taking this a much better line here than he was in the last race. Yes, wall hitting. A bit of a lock up there though. How's Jim doing? He's looking good. Over the bridge. As I said, you'd expect him to win here, but he is a little bit behind.
Jim Paresis, he tagged the wall on the entry to the bridge and after the bridge as well, but he carried the momentum. But yeah, he's tagged the wall twice already, is Jim.
There you go, curse of the commentator right there. As William Tringus comes into the inner section now. Who's going to win this one? William Tringus reportedly already got ideas of where he's going to end up next year, and same with Jim Paresis if Grapevine is to be believed. A little bit of a drift there for Tringus, and this is going to be so close as we come to the line. In fact, I think there was literally...
split by a 10th. I think Tringus had it by a 10th.
Oh no, Tringus has gone off. Tringus has gone off. Taking a little bit too much corner there. I think that's probably decided this one. Unless Paresis makes a similar mistake. Not good for Tringus there. He'll be kicking himself. Again, probably cursed it a little bit there. Reese just has to keep it on the road now. I think he's a long way ahead. Ringus is coming round. Yeah, he's probably, what, about 6-7 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds ahead now.
Jim just got a beautiful drift through the first corner there. He swept all the way around the outside, just started to lock the tyres, but got it caught up, and it was a very fast first part of the laps for him there as he comes around to the final corner. There's going to be a comprehensive victory here for Jim Paresis.
Absolutely thrashes Ringus there, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. 2-1 to Paresis. So far, that is the fastest lap today on the Peugeots from Jim, right there. Very dangerous. Could he possibly be a hope for the actual championship here?
Absolutely, I think with a form like that, Jim Paresis potentially could be. So we now will move on to the next one, which is Christoph against Ari Nieminen. And if there's anything to this to go by previously, it could be Ari taking it, which will make it, I believe, that would make it 2-2 with it.
That would mean we have a proper sudden death race there. We'll see what happens as they come out now. Ari in the black car, Christoph in the white car. Could go either way. Who's your money on?
Well, I believe, yeah, so if Christoph wins this one, it goes to, they will progress, and if Ari wins, it goes to 2-2. I think Ari will make this one, so we'll go to 2-2, and we'll have a decider.
Already going to stay with you on that one there, Nick, but we'll see when we've had the last 4 laps. 4th race, possibly the last one, depending on how this one goes. And they're getting ready at the lights. And they go. I think Christoph had a little better start there as he comes to the first corner, but as I said, you can never tell until we get there after the first lap or two. Ari absolutely flying around the corners, a little bit of smoke pops out as he drifts around that corner, looking good. And Christoph still going around the corners, a little bit of dust there, hits the bridge. I'm really liking his try. It's looking like Ari's a long way ahead, especially with Christoph tapping the wall there.
Yeah, and Ari did the same at the final corner there as well, so they've both tapped the wall basically at the same time as Ari dives into the middle section now.
Could well be a 2-2, but then again, Ari has got to take the shorter section, which is possibly more difficult. But then again, a driver of Ari's caliber will probably make mincemeat of it. Goes over the bridge now, looking good. Looking very close though. This could go either way as we go to the halfway stage. In fact, I think Christoph Lichtenstein's got it. There we go. He's 0.3 of a second ahead. This really is too close to call.
Yep, so Christoph leads it, so it's a case of now can Ari pull that 0.3 back as he dives through the middle sector, or sorry, the middle section of track I should say really. He's hooked the right tyre on the that high curbing again as he's flicking the rear of the car out. And it's, well, Christoph's still quite close, so this is going to be a very tense final lap for them. We'll have to see if Christoph can pull off a little bit of a shock here against Ari Nieminen, as Nieminen is now into the middle section, and he will go over the bridge this time.
The only time that you can call motorsport a game of 2 halves like you do in football really is all to play for as Nieminen takes the bridge one more time, but it looks like Christoph's got the lead on that one. This could be all over here. And it is. Christoph Lichtenstein, wow, 1/10 of a second in it.
So Christoph and Jim progress then?
Who was expecting that? I think Christoph will probably be very happy with his day's work.
Massive congratulations to Christoph Lichtenstein there. That's hell of an effort.
That's a really great drive from him there. I'm sure he'll be very pleased. He's been taking lessons from his racing driver this year, Dave Carl-Smith.
Absolutely. But that was a great effort, and it's put Jim and Christoph through to tomorrow's next round, so we'll have to see how they progress from there. But they're looking at quite a strong team.
Of course, anything can change on a knife edge here. I believe, Nick, you're actually driving this time, so get down there.
I believe so. I'm just trying to see if Boyd's...
I still don't see Boyd anywhere. I don't see it. Maybe I'll come and drive for him. Both commentate while racing. He's on his way, apparently. We'll just have to wait. What's your favourite moment of the season been for you, Nick, then?
Sorry, say that one again?
What was your favourite moment of this season so far?
Favourite moment of the season? I've got a personal one, a team one. Team championship at Spa, and personal one, my first win in Abu Dhabi.
Fair enough. Right, so Bryson is here now. I think it's Roland versus Bryson in the first race, so I'll let Nick go down and get ready.
Yes, thank you.
Otherwise, he might just have a little bit of a fit, maybe. Right, Nick Rowland, commentator extraordinaire, and second in the championship as I was building him up earlier before he had his race postponed. Boyd Bryson, also a great threat here. Absolutely stunning in the GTs and in the Endurance Series. Anything with a roof on it, and he's your man. And in the Super Cup, he's done really well this year. Here we go. Here's your money on Bryson in black, Roland in white. And it's on. Great start from Roland. I think he's got the measure here. Bryson really struggling to get any traction out of that first corner. And Roland goes a little bit wide, but I don't think it'll hurt him too much. As Bryson comes through the chicane, looking a bit better now. He races that Legends car. I think it's based on a Marlboro Radical or something. It looks really nice, but very, very old-fashioned. As Bryson gets caught on the curb, this could go either way again. But Roland's got the measure of him, I think. We'll give it another 3 laps before we find out. And it's pretty much actually equal on the start line, which means that Roland's probably got the advantage going into the shorter version of the track now. Bryson really bogging down in those corners a little bit as Roland comes around, looking absolutely imperious through the hairpin there. Bryson takes the bridge. Hopefully I'm not putting our cameraman out too much here, and it's looking very, very much like Nick Roland's going to have the lead here after the first kind of full lap. And there we go, 1.6 seconds the gap. Very much like Roland is on course to win here. But Bryson has been known to spring a few surprises. After all, he was the only one standing at the end of one of the Endurance Series races. That kind of wonderful thing that didn't really last very long. 2 races in the middle of this season. Roland shoots past. This is going to be close. I think Bryson might just edge the first. Oh, maybe not. He's hit the wall there. I should stop cursing at the Woods drivers, really, shouldn't I? And he's hit the wall again. Oh no, he's flipped! He's flipped! Bryson has flipped into the other lane. I think that's all over. And Nick Rowland can race easy because his competitor is out of the race. He's got to complete the last lap now. Nick Rowland trundling it round. Gets a nice bit of extra time to learn the track. I think Bryson looking a bit sad there, stuck in the middle of the road. And Rowland wins it by obviously quite a long way now that Mr. Bryson is out of the race. So 1-0 to Rowland. There we go.
And that was a lot more tough than I thought it'd be.
What, until Boyd managed to flip?
Well, yeah, but it's with the fact that you're commentating, I can hear it.
Sorry about that. Shouldn't try to curse you either. So now we have their teammates. Timu Toika and Miles Dixon. Timu Toika, Nick Rowland's teammate. How do you feel about having Timu as your teammate?
It was last year pretty terrible, but this year no problem at all. Looks like he's really improved in the past 3 months since that connection's improved for him. So yeah, all the best for Timu here. Yeah, I remember watching a race, and on the formation lap he lagged out into Jeff Mead, causing Jeff Mead to erupt in quite a lot of anger, not for the first time or the last time in his GPVWC career. I think we're just about ready to get the lights on. There we go. Everyone revs up, gets ready for the race. Let's go! Nice start from both of them. Miles Dixon having the advantage though. Timu bogging down a little bit as he hit the start line. There he goes around the first corner, looking good. Yeah, he's hoping for better things than last year, where that famous accident where he hit Will Panisi managed to have to cause a restart of the race, and then went on to lose in the first round. Miles Dixon had a great series in the Masters, second in the Novice Cup. It's been consistent in the Formula Challenge, and Miles Dixon takes the lead. 1.8 seconds in it as we go round for the second lap. Absolutely, and Timu's he had a bit of a rough start there, so he's playing catch up straight away. He looked like he dipped the clutch at the start and lost out by a good few tenths. So Timu's actually trying to catch back up here what he lost at the start as he sweeps through this infield section. But it looks like he has got the advantage over Miles Dixon currently. I think Miles Dixon had a bit of a bog down in the middle of the track, and Timu has a 1.3 second advantage. Still could go either way, as we've seen this infield section causing more than the odd sort of problem, as Timu has a little bit of a tank slapper there. Down the corners, looking good. But here comes Miles Dixon.
Nice sweep of him to navigate now. Timu takes the bridge.
Timu navigated the bridge quite well there, and he's on this third lap, and Timu is in front of Miles as they will come onto their final run now. And Timu will have a longer run around the outside.
Timu with the advantage. This could still go either way, but he's got less of the kind of tight corners to have to navigate now. Nice little bit of traction coming out of that corner. Miles is looking good too. This could go either way. I know I've said that quite a lot tonight already, but it really could. All hangs on a knife edge as to whether you hit the wall too hard or get stuck on a curve or even flip over the barrier, as we saw with Boyd just one race ago.
But Timu takes that one in front of Miles by about 2.4 seconds, I think it was.
I think 3.0 seconds there.
Oh, 3, okay, went up.
I think, yeah, it looked really quite an easy win for Timu Toika there. As everyone cheers him going through. So, next race, Nick's back down to the grid.
Yep.
He'll be taking on Miles Dixon. And this one will decide whether we get a fourth race that actually means something or not. Timu Toika and Nick Rowland 2-0 up. We await cars on the track. If you are watching, then thank you for tuning in. If you want to make any comment tonight, then you can send your tweets to @OllieWoods, which is OLLIE Woods. I would say tweet at GPVWC, but I don't actually have that hold of that, so I can have a look anyway, probably. Here we go then. Nick on the outside, the inside to start with. Miles Dixon on the outside. Who's going to win? And we're off. Nice start from Miles again. Nick just behind though. They go around the first corner. Nick has the tighter route. I'm sure he's listening to me as he goes around or trying to block me out. Round the corners he goes. Miles Dixon flying through this section. Hopefully he can make up a bit more on what he did last race. It looks like he may be ahead as we speak. And yeah, there we go. Slight gap in it. Miles Dixon in favour there. But he's still got the tougher intersection to go. 0.7 the gap. Very achievable for a man who finished second in the Super League with the team championship under his belt. Having accepted all those awards, it might make the car a bit heavier, but you never tell. Here we go then. Oh, he's slowed down. He's probably laughing at my joke there. Sorry, Nick. But he's slowing down a bit there through that corner. But he's still ahead of Miles by quite some margin. As we come over to the crossing for the third and fourth laps, we've got 1.3 seconds in it. And Miles has got the easier section now. I don't know, I'll ask Nick in a moment, but I don't know if you'd prefer the outside or the inside section. Myself, I'd probably go for the inside section first, and then the easier bomb around the corners first. Second even, sorry. Losing myself here. Murray Walker style, and Miles Dixon has the slight advantage, but will it be enough as we go around? Maybe if Nick keeps hitting those walls. 0.5 of a second in it. Absolutely tense here at the Race of Champions. Rowland needs this to shut the race out and to progress tomorrow. Miles Dixon needing it to stay in the Race of Champions. He looks a bit slow around that corner. Miles Dixon takes the hairpin. Doesn't even touch the curve. Straight over the bridge. Here's where they meet up, and Nick Rowland is far ahead here. I think this is going to be an absolute domination job. And there we go, Nick Rowland 3-0 up with Timu Toika against Miles Dixon and his teammate Boyd Bryson.
That wasn't too bad.
You look good there, Nick.
It was I had a few moments in the middle on the second and third lap where I couldn't get the car to turn properly. The rear of the car wouldn't slide, so I had to get that really turn there. But it worked. So
is that
progressed actually now?
Is that a feature of the car or of the setup that you've got with it?
No, it's just a feature of the car. It's the certain way you've got to try and get the car hooked around the corner and basically power it to get rid of the understeer. So it's a tricky little car to drive.
Fair enough. Would you rather be in this or the Peugeot?
For fun, this, but to drive normally, it would be the Peugeot.
But it's just as well, this is a fun event then, isn't it? Here we go then. Final race of this, a dead rubber between Timu Toika and Boyd Bryson. No, Boyd won't be very happy to have gone out already. I'm sure he'll have something to show in his last race, and Timu Toika takes the lead here. Nice start there. Takes the first tight hairpin, will follow Timu for this section as he goes round tough corners, trying not to hit anything. And good. Boyd Bryson having a bit of a slow corner there, and Timu's taking the bridge. But Boyd Bryson has a massive advantage here. Could this be 3-1? A consolation victory? We'll soon find out as Boyd takes the inner kind of circle, the more difficult section of the track. Runs a little bit on the curb there. Trying to avoid it there, looking good. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, Timu's just had a slight moment coming out the first part of the outside loop of the track, so it should be. I think it's going to be quite close between the pair of them because he's going to come around the infield section now. Yeah, and Boyd Bryson's right there, so it's very close on this very first lap between Timu and Boyd. But I think Timu will edge it. He does just the smallest of margins. He goes into the infield section now.
Timu slowing down for that hairpin. This is going to be anyone's game. Very, very tight. For a couple of moments from both drivers in that last lap. Who's going to have the advantage here? Boyd Bryson takes the corner. Bit of a wobble coming out into the next one, but holds it nicely. Timu Toika not looking like he's got any problems in the ride, and he looks like he's a long. It looks like Boyd's a long way ahead here. 1.7 seconds. How would you be feeling at this point, Nick?
It's going to be close, but Timu's taking the first corner beautifully, so I don't know if he's getting any time there back, but it's going to be a tight one between them because I think we will see Timu go around the infield section and come over the bridge. We will see Boyd. Where is Boyd now? So
right around next to each other. This could be.
This is going to be so close, isn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't want to get it on the line. Boyd Bryson takes it by 0.13 of a second. 3-1 there. Nice consolation victory. Timu won't be happy, but then again, he's got it all to do tomorrow.
Yep, so that's quite a nice moment for us. So I get to progress to. That's great.
You're looking forward to tomorrow night's action?
I am now. Yeah, most definitely.
Fair enough. Looking forward to it myself. We'll be here tomorrow night as well from about the same time, I believe, for more action. And it'll be really good fun as we see who is the ultimate champion of GPVWC 2012. Really, that comes with a bit of caveat. Quite a few of the big drivers, Nick, have pulled out of this, citing various reasons.
Yeah, it's a very select event. People do like it, and some people are not so keen on it. But nevertheless, it's still a good event, and we still got all the good majority of the decent drivers here. I think the only ones we're really missing. It would have been great if we saw Pedicassa and maybe Lee Morris also.
Maybe James Shepherd as well.
Yes,
his
of course,
dominance.
James Shepherd, of course, yeah.
Yeah, those three casualties choosing not to turn up tonight, but their loss at the end of the day, isn't it? We're still enjoying ourselves here, and we've got another cracking battle coming up. Quite possibly a bit of domination here from one team, but there you go. You never know what's going to happen until it actually happens here at the Race of Champions. We've got Bart DeVos and Chris Williamson versus Simon is it Melhoosh? I'm really bad at saying names. Yeah. And
so it's like a cameraman that looks like it's going to be doing this next one, Simon Melhoosh.
Yeah, so if things look a bit boring, then we do apologise, but he's got to race. You can't really expect the man to try and do two things at once, not in a car capable of doing that kind of speed. And he'll be teamed up with Tom Parker, GPVWC Super League Most Improved Driver of the Year, Woods Racing Driver Extraordinaire. And now we've just got to wait on two drivers to turn up. Simon needs to get hot-footed into his own car instead of pressing the camera buttons for us. Much appreciated as it is.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is probably leave an external view, and we will, unless Dave takes it over, but we'll leave an external view and we'll see them still driving, nevertheless.
We'll do our best to talk you through it like it's some sort of radio commentary.
Yeah.
There we go, first time for everything, first TV broadcast and first radio in one night. Looking forward to it. So these are the Legends cars again, are they? No, that's Peugeot. Interesting.
I think they're just in the warm-up session at the moment.
Looks like we've got a random car on the track, but he's been moved off now. The equivalent, I suppose, of a streaker but thankfully less naughty bits to look at. So, here we go. The race is about to start. Bart de Vos versus Simon Belhuis. Again, Simon, apologies if I said that wrong. It's going to be an absolutely cracking race, I believe. Go either way. Bart de Vos, a bit of a journey this year between Hawkeye and Nordschen Racing. Already confirmed, apparently somewhere, we're not sure where, but I know his plans are already cemented. Simon, Touring Motorsports owner, co-owner, and has had the most dominant season as a team manager that I think anybody's had. Super Cup champion, Formula Challenge champion, World Sports Series champion. Can he make it the Race of Champions as well? We'll find out now. It's a good start from Simon. Bart de Vos just behind. They're going around now. But a little bit tail happy going through the corner there. As Simon taps the wall. We'll see if that's what he meant to do later on.
That's an aggressive start there for Simon for sure. That was a he bolted out and got some oversteer going on, but he's run a bit deep. But he's come out fighting Simon straight away. Yeah,
2 corners there that he was a little bit happy with. You could see the oil marks on the car where he braked really sharply, but he's looking good as we go around the first lap. Here comes Simon through the shorter technical section.
The rear of Simon's car is really hanging out, but he's throwing everything at it. It's really impressive to see. I think he's been the most attacking driver with the car for sure at the moment. As we come towards the end of the first lap, this is going to be tight between Simon and Bart, and Simon's absolutely nailing this at the moment, and he has got it by about a tenth of a second from Bart de Vos. So Simon Melhuis, a tin top lover, is absolutely dominant. Well, throwing the gauntlet down to Bart de Vos at the moment, and Bart de Vos is no dab hand to after his Super League antics this year.
No, indeed, and Simon's looking like he knows exactly where to hook up the car. I think if you want attacking drivers, you have to wait for his teammate Tom Parker and see what he does, because he's known for having a little bit of a throw around the car. As Bart de Vos, he's spun it, he's overdone it, and he's gone into the wall. I think that'll be the end of that one then. Bart de Vos just takes the first corner of the outside section.
Simon's got to be careful for the wheel there, the wheel's gone over. Yeah, the wheel.
I think he's tapped that. Oh wow. I think that's a mini toy kid there. Oh well, he looks like he's going to win this, and quite comfortably, because
excellent run there from Simon.
Didn't have to do very much there, but he did what mattered, and he finished the race. And Tom Parker looks on cheering before getting into his car, ready for his big race. Take on Chris Williamson.
Yeah, that was a great run. That's a fantastic start for him, because that was probably the toughest the race that he'd have with Simon. Well, I'm sure Tom will have a tough one against Bart as well, but Simon's had a cracking start there, so we'll now see it be Tom Parker against Chris Williamson, isn't it?
It looks like Simon Melhuis is on the track for some reason. I thought it would be Tom Parker. Oh, yes. They're trying to get back to the cameras quicker.
Yeah, quite possibly so. Maybe they'll do Simon back to back so we can carry on with the cameras. So Simon will be straight back on the track again against Chris Williamson, and potential to go 2 up straight away.
Simon using a bit of the horn there just to his delight to the fans who are cheering. You can see the flash guns going off, just like a concert here. And it's a great start from Simon. Straight out of the blocks. Chris Williamson looking, not exactly known for being a bad driver, but not one of the top alien kind of drivers you'd expect here. But he's going to do his best. He runs over the curbs a little bit.
Oh, Simon's just had a big moment going over those inside that again. He's really straddled those curbs, and it's caused him a lot of time.
He's spun it! Oh, he's going backwards, I think.
Oh yes, he's J-turned it. That's awesome. That is awesome.
I think that's this year's moment so far.
And Chris Williamson spun there. That is absolutely fantastic. To reverse down the track and J-turn it.
Williamson has got stuck in the first chicane, and it looks like that Simon's
he's regained that time.
Will be worth it there.
Well, that was outstanding bit of driving to whack it into reverse that fast and J-turn it. Simon Melhuis, that was superb.
I think that Top Gear might be calling for Melhuis after this one. But then again, he's got to avoid doing a similar thing on this lap round. I think he's got quite an advantage here now. About 8 seconds by the looks of it. I think he's almost overdoing it a little bit there, Nick.
Yeah, I think he's just having a bit of fun now because he knows he can J-turn any corner.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't take it too hard, but he's long way ahead here, I think. Yeah,
he's comprehensively ahead. So this will put them 2 up in quick
as long
time.
as he doesn't spin it.
Yeah, that's true, which he already has done.
Hoping.
So Simon Melhuish looking to put him, and it's Tom Parker, isn't it? Up to 2 up.
Yep. A lot of people have said that they're a team to watch, along with some of the other really good-looking teams here. And there's Simon comprehensively beating Chris Williamson, who'll get a chance in a moment to take on Tom Parker. Will it be for? But I don't know who's going to be next in the white car. But will it be him or will it be his teammate Bart de Vos? We'll soon find out. Simon Melhuish looking a bit kind of retrospect there.
Yeah, we will now have Bart de Vos up against Tom Parker.
I'm not fancying his chances here, but Tom Parker finishing 10th, unlucky to finish 9th, not finish 9th in the Super League season this year after David Junt just about pipped him in the final race.
Most improved driver against Bart de Vos, who is a very accomplished driver, so this will be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, well indeed, Tom Parker confirmed at Woods Racing, the best blue and silver team on the grid for 2013. I said best blue and silver team, didn't I? But
I'm just giving away our livery next year. Damn.
Best blue and silver team in 2012 then, and we don't know who his teammate will be yet. Here at Ryan this year in the Woods Racing car with him, but here we go. Tom Parker off to a good start as he flies around that corner. Bart de Vos taking the technical session very well. Tom Parker had a bit of a tendency to wall ride in practice here. I know he tried it and found that he got a lot more time out of it. He tries it there. I don't think it quite worked in the same way that time though.
No, Tom Parker's certainly going for it absolutely out the gun straight away. Oh wow, he took a lot of inside curve there as he ended the first half of the first lap. So he's nailed that pretty hard as he comes now into the infield section.
Bit of a wall hit there from Bart de Vos. Tom Parker, famously once known for his cutting, strives hard this year to take it out of his racing repertoire. He's worked really well with it, not being disqualified once this year. I'm sure he's very proud of. Maybe taking a bit too much inside curve on that first lap, and now Bart de Vos has a lead of 0.76 seconds. Still anyone's game, but Bart has to tackle the really tough bit first, which leaves him a much more kind of quick sprint on the second go. But then again, he's just locked up a little bit in that hairpin as he takes the bridge. Tom looking strong, but as we said,
Tom's got the edge.
As we said, Tom still has to navigate. Oh no!
He spun!
Tom's got off! Tom spun it, tries to do the Melhuish J-turn. Has he managed it? No, not well, vaguely. He's used a bit of wall there. I don't think that's going to help him though. Got to hope for a de Vos mistake here. I'm sure he'll be raging inside there, but Bart de Vos just using a bit of curve, maybe a bit too much curve. Goes around the hairpin, coming out for the end of the race. There he goes, comprehensively beats Tom Parker to keep his team in the game.
Absolutely, so Tom Parker. So that's 2-1 now to Simon Melhuish and Tom Parker as Bart de Vos has picked it up, and it will be to the next round now to see if we go to a final shoot-off round, but it will be Tom Parker against Chris Williamson, I believe, is that right?
Well, indeed, yeah, battle of the G-Proc people, as they're known in other leagues. Spend pretty much every day abusing each other on Skype, and when they finally met, fireworks flew.
Absolutely, and now we'll see if Tom and Simon can progress, as Tom now heads up against Chris Williamson, and this could potentially make it 3-1, or if Chris wins, we will have 2-2.
Still kind of expect Tom to be the favourite after his Super League exploits, but this is a totally different ball game. Tom known to kind of lose faith in himself a bit when things go wrong. Here's hoping that doesn't happen right now. The lights go on. They rev up. Let's go. A bit of a late start there. They kept them on the lights for a long time, but it's kind of looking like on as even as they go around the first corner. Chris Williamson blocking up a little bit there as he goes around the first couple of tight bends. And again. Then again, that could just be the way he's driving the cars. You never know. It's only worked for Simon Melhuish.
Looks like Tom Parker's got this one slightly more under control, although he's had another problem at that same corner where he spun last time.
Has he sent that
debris this time though?
Did he send that debris in the path of the Chris Williamson? I think he just avoided it, as Chris has a little bit of a drift there going through the kind of chicane section. This is going to be a case of who can keep it on the track for the longest, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, and Tom Parker looks like he has this edge at the moment as he comes across the line. He does indeed, so Tom Parker is in front of Chris Williamson by about 1.5 seconds.
A good gap there, hopeful for him that he can keep it. Of course, Chris will be trying his hardest to beat him and take the time back. Chris locks up a bit of going over the curbs there. Where he could feel the kind of rumble as he went over there. Tom Parker coming through. Fairly long way ahead, but he's still got the tough section to go. Not sure he'll want to repeat his antics from the last race. It looks like he's taking it a lot more carefully this time, Nick.
Yeah, it looks like he's been a lot more careful around these high banked curbs as he comes over the bridge. For the final time, he breaks it down and he will shoot through. And Chris pulled a little bit back, but I think Chris just tagged the wall there, so it's Tom out the final corner, and he wins. And that will be Tom Parker and Simon Melwish through to tomorrow's event.
3-1 to Parker and Melwish. Great win for them, and they'll be through to tomorrow's grand final stages. Getting up the little picture on here, who will they be racing? Well, looks like they'll be taking on Jim and Christoph next. It will be in tomorrow's quarterfinals. Who do you reckon will win out of that one, Nick?
Not too sure actually. It's going to be very close, but we've got an even closer battle I think we might have now, which is Alex Cooper and Roy Schroten against Alex Rolls and Jason Muscat. So first out is a battle of the Alexes, Cooper versus Rolls.
This could be a really, really good race here. Cooper and Schroten seen as one of the big hitters on this grid. Perfect way to test their partnership ahead of Roy joining the Midnight Gang, as it were, next year as part of CSG Racing. Are you happy to have him on board?
Oh, absolutely. It's been fantastic. He's had a fantastic season, and to bring him across now into Super League is really quite something. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Alex does next year.
Already a race winner this year after controversial circumstances with James Shepherd. We won't go into that tonight, as we'll be here forever. But here goes the race. Good start from Rolls. As he goes around the outside, Alex Rolls, no slouch himself, did really well in the Formula Challenge this year. Already should have won those last two races, but then got controversially again disqualified for overusing the track limits somewhat. I know he wasn't happy with that, but I'm sure it will lead him to work even harder next year.
It's been a good start here from Cooper as well. It's been quite clean, but it looks like Rolls has had a good run as well himself, so this could be quite close on the first. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep though in the first part.
Oh, we've done it. Oh, he spins. Oh. Alex Rolls spins into the barrier. He's going to have to do a little 360 there. Or 180 maybe even a 540. Not easy to see, but it looks like Rolls possibly has put himself a bit all to do there, to be honest with you. Alex Cooper not going to make a mistake unless things really happen, you'd think.
Well, Cooper's tagged the wall at the final corner, but he's got it hooked up. Oh, he rode the inside curbing quite well there, actually. It got the car really balanced in turns, so Cooper's enjoying this turn 6-7.
Rolls goes off again, just taps the wall coming into the chicane and almost hits the water feature.
Yep, and Alex will come across the line to start his final run, as he now has the outer loop section.
I think it's safe to say the Rolls is quite a long way behind here.
Yeah.
Possibly too much to do. In fact, most definitely too much to do, as there he goes across the line, 10 seconds behind. Oh! Cooper spun it!
Cooper spun!
Cooper spins! You know what I was saying, he doesn't make a mistake? Well, there was a little bit of one. I don't know how much that's going to affect him, but he comes through the final couple of corners. I think we'll be glad he had that little advantage.
Still wins, but that was a slight moment there for him.
Had his heart on his sleeve there, didn't he? I'm sure Jason will be watching that with great relief that he managed to keep it going. 8.9 seconds the gap in the end. I'm told by our resident producer and resident Peugeot driver, the master of the J-turn, that it's very difficult to drive those, easy to spin them because of the short wheelbase on the cars. Clearly, we mastered it with the J-turn, Mr. Melhuish, but other people have yet to do so. Here we go, Roy Schroden versus Jason Muscat. Who do you reckon's going to win this one? Nick, with your unbiased hat on.
I think it would be... I think it's going to be Roy, actually, even if he's a bit biased. But yeah, I think Roy should get this one.
I think we'll see. Roy Schroden has done a really great job in the Super Cup this year. Really impressed quite a few people, including our very own Nick Rowland, with his very mature driving after the Schroden brothers gaining a bit of a reputation in previous years, having a bit of crash-tastic time in GPVWC. And they're off. Jason Muscat himself, no slouch. Instrumental in Red Archer's success in 2011. Didn't have the time and or the connection to be able to do the same thing this year, but 2013, you'd have to have him up there with the best. Goes around the tight hairpin there. Roy Schroden looking good as he takes the bridge, but Jason Muscat's just got that advantage, albeit with the tougher infield section still to do.
It's going to be quite close between them again. It's a bit like the last race there also, so but I think Muscat's just tagged the inside wall, the outside wall of turn 1 on the inside loop, so Roy Schroden will try and make it up. As I've just seen Jason go over the bridge now, he's coming down and off it, and it is very close between them, but it looks like Roy has this advantage at the moment.
Little bit
heads into the final corner.
A little bit of a wall hit there from Jason Muscat. 0.684 seconds the gap. Oh, and Jason's just overdone it into that first corner. He's lucky the wall saved him from a spin there, but that would have lost him even more time. Roy Schroden looking really good as he comes through those tight bends inside the inner field of the track. Goes over the bridge. But still, Jason Muscat has slight advantage, albeit with the infield still to do. Roy has to drive this bit perfectly, really, you'd think.
Yep, onto the final lap now, and Roy is on the outside loop. Oh God, he's so close to the barrier there, but Roy Schroden gets away with it, goes underneath the bridge, and he will go to the tight right hairpin, left hairpin.
Another bit of a look up there.
Jason comes over the bridge, and it looks like Roy does have this. He does indeed. He's coming around to the final corner, and Roy Schroden will win this race against Jason Muscat.
Just under a second. Just under a second, the advantage there as Roy flashes lights into light. Jason Muscat, you'd thought had a bit more there, but in the end he didn't have it, and it's 2-0.
It is indeed. So 2-0, as Cooper will now be up against Muscat, I believe.
That's right, Alex Cooper and Jason Muscat. Big battle here. DSG versus Mortarfalls. Battle the race throughout the season in the Super Cup. We're waiting for them to hit the grid. Hence time. Not many races to come now tonight, but we've still got some really good stuff, so stay tuned with us. And stay tuned tomorrow as well to see who takes the crown. We're live on Sim Race TV with GPVWC race champions Lee Woods and Nick Rowland here in the commentary box. We get ready for the lights. Cars start revving up. Cooper versus Muscat. Cooper in white, Muscat in black. And they're away! Jason Muscat, slightly better start there.
Alex Cooper dived into one but got a little bit wrong, but he's got away with it just about at the moment, I think, is Alex Cooper.
Am I right in thinking we haven't seen Cooper very much in the Tin Top series this year, Nick?
He did the Porsches earlier in the year and was quite competitive in them, so I'm sure he is capable of doing them, but yeah, the Porsches a little bit further back in the year he did, and since then not so much. He did a few Masters, I think, but overall he did the Porsches, and I think that's the only ones he's done at the moment.
Yeah, the World Sports Series was a big new series in the GPWC this year. Porsches around the best tracks all over the world, especially in Europe. The Monaco Grand Prix, now that was a special one to watch. But as we come back here, it's Alex Cooper with half a second's advantage over Jason Muscat. Again, this one could go either way, especially if either of them makes a mistake. And there's a bit of wall from Jason Muscat. I don't know if the guys are using this to their advantage a bit now. Was that a tactic you used, Nick?
It can be done on some corners, but other ones it will just bite. So it's probably best not to. But straightening the car, certainly it helps it, as Muscat and is currently in front, but this is the final lap, and it looks like Cooper may get it. Oh, Cooper spin! Oh, nearly.
Almost happens
all caught up though.
Great save from Alex Cooper. About seconds advantage for Jason Muscat there, but you can never tell. It might not be enough, given that he's got the tighter section now. And indeed, it looks like Cooper's got nose ahead, especially as Jason just taps that wall there. I think Cooper's got it. There we go. Domination from Cooper and from Schroten.
So Alex Cooper and Roy Schroten progress then, and we will have one final round up a race, which will be Jason Muscat. No, Muscat's raced twice. Sorry, so it will be Roy against Alex Rolls, won't it?
It will indeed. A bit of a dead rubber, but who cares? Still all the pride in the world to play for. A race win at this stage of the season, with everything pretty much being done except the Winter GT. Will give anyone a good sense of happiness coming into next season in 2013. Now, Nick, what did you think of the regulations that were announced on Sunday? Things like 3 drivers instead of 4 for the teams. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's due to the increase in terms of field size. They've decreased the actual teams themselves, so it's understandable, and it also doesn't put extra pressure on teams to find that 4th driver if they are struggling. So I think it's a good move, and I also think the weather aspect's going to be phenomenal.
We'll talk more about that after this race, between the races, no doubt. But here we go, Rolls versus Schroten. And they're away. Rolls with a much better start there. But then again, Schroten is no slouch. We know how quick he is, having won already today. Having impressed all the way through the Super Cup. Apart from the couple of times he went over the barriers and out of the track limits. I'm sure that wasn't his fault. Over the bridge he goes now. Alex Rolls. Close. Be a close one here. I think Rolls is just ahead.
He is, right? Yeah. Alex Rolls is ahead, and Roy Schroten. Actually, I think Alex has got quite a nice little advantage there, so it's going to be close when it comes to the end of the lap, because now Roy will go to the outside loop and into the intersection.
Yeah, it's just under a 2-second gap there. Alex Rolls looking good, but he still has that important section.
It's very close between the pair of them, but it looks like Alex Rolls has the advantage at the moment at the end of the first lap. It is indeed, and Roy's got a little bit of catching up to do.
0.75 seconds, all in here. 2 laps to go. Right into the.
Oh, Roy's gone off. He went back off, but came back on again. It's well saved for him.
Well saved for that. Could end it for him, but then again, it doesn't really matter right now, does it? He's still through tomorrow.
Yes, they are through to tomorrow, but I'm sure Roy will want this. Nevertheless, he's pushing on, but Alex Rolls looks like he may take the final race.
2.6 seconds in it. Remember, this is the toughest section for Rolls, and he almost takes himself out there. Just about holds on through the corner. Nice bit of drift. As I said, Rolls already has made a mistake or 2 on this section in the previous race that he did. And now they come round. I think it's going to be Rolls quite a long way ahead here.
Rolls will take this one, and especially because Roy's almost spun. He hit the barrier, but yeah, Alex Rolls take that one. So it's 3-1, but Cooper and Schroten advance.
Well, 3-1, 1.6 seconds in it. I think they'll both be happy with that. So yeah, we were talking about the weather implement that's going to be coming in next year. What do you think of that, Nick? What's going to change?
Oh, everything. It's going to create tactics. It's going to create unpredictability. It's going to create fantastic racing, even more so than we've seen this year. So I think that the concept of the weather come in, the different tyres, it's going to be a walk into the unknown, I guess you could say, for an entire season of wet conditions as well. Well, variable weather, I should say.
Are your drivers well known for being able to handle the wet weather? Have you yourself had a go in it yet?
No, I've driven the wet conditions a couple of years ago. I think it was a year ago now, when it was like a test one, and it was very, very tricky to drive then. But I do not think either Alex or Lucas currently have tried it.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how they do when that comes in 2013. Wow, it's weird to be even talking about next year already. It feels like the off season between 2011 and 2012 was only last week, really. As now on track we have the battle of the Nijo drivers, Ben Warren and Ruud Heasterbeek. This is going to be one for the bragging rights. Ruud Heasterbeek, absolutely amazing with the Nijo Cosworth car this year. I think he was voted best of the rest, was he not?
And deservedly so. He was superb in doing what he did with that car.
Yeah, not the world's quickest car, but He was constantly fighting for positions far more than expected. And Ben Warren, no slouch himself, as he likes to call himself, the second best disabled sim racer in the world. As they both start the race in these legend cars, much tougher to drive. Warren looking good. I find he's looking good too, but he's got the tougher bits to go now. Soon see how it all plays out as Easterbeek crosses the bridge, and Warren has a slight advantage. Will that be enough when they come over, having done both sets of track? We'll soon find out. 0.4 seconds in it. This could be very tough for Warren.
Yeah, Rudy Easterbeek was took the outside loop quite tamely there, but nevertheless it was clean. So I'll have to see how he deals with this infield section. He deals with the curbs slightly differently. He brakes early and gets it turned in, and lets the car roll, where everyone else seems to be just dabbing the throttle to try and get the rear of the car to come round. So Rude's been a lot more tame with this car, but it's getting the job done at the moment. I think Ben's had a moment as well.
I think he may well have done 3.2 seconds the gap, and I think Rude Easterbeek running away with it as at the moment here at the Race of Champions. Ben Warren still will have a go though, do his best to try and get up to Easterbeek. I know, oh no, maybe not, bit of a spin there, and he's just kind of smacked the barrier around the hairpin. Don't think that will help Ben's chances at all, as Rude comes across the line already. The gap now, it's looking like 3.1 seconds, so it's actually gone up despite Ben having the shorter outfield part of the track. Such a lottery here, but it looks like Rude Easterbeek has mastered this track already. Hopefully I haven't put the curse on him just there.
Again, taking that interesting inside line where he gets the car hooked up and then drives it off, as opposed to dabbing the throttle all the way round. But Rude Easterbeek will come round the final corner to win this race 1. He does indeed, in front of Ben Warren, who is about 5.86 seconds further on back.
Made it look quite easy, really, didn't he? So now we await the second round. Now I think it's meant to be Philip Cullen here racing with Ben Warren. Can't see Philip Cullen though. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I haven't seen him yet though arrive. David Stanton will be up against him as Rude Easterbeek's teammate. Mr. Phil Cullen won't be here. It's been announced. We'll be finding out who will be taking over in a minute. It's a bit of a mystery, especially for Ben. David Stanton, of course, doing really well last year, making it to the final. Almost beating Tringus Ed Morris with Lewis Redshaw. And here is Phil Cullen's replacement, Glenn Guest. Now, I don't know a lot about Glenn Guest myself. Do you know anything about him, Nick?
No, I believe he did a few of the. He's been doing a couple of the Winter GT races just recently, but that's all I've actually seen of him. So he's a new one to me.
So we've been told he's been racing in other leagues and he's pretty quick. So this could be a really good race. David Stanton, no slouch, as we said, great pedigree from last year, and he's done well with the constant car in the Super League this year. Not great kind of season for the team. I think they finished about 11th in the standings in the end, but stuff to build on next year anyway. And we're off. Good start from Stanton, really good start from Stanton. As he takes the first corner, Glenn Guest getting a nice drive out of the first one though. Here we go. One is up for grabs, and Glenn Guest taking in a really inside line there. Bit of a wobble coming out of the corner as well. David Stanton going around the hairpin. He's looking a little bit slow around that corner, but then again, as they say in Top Gear, sometimes when you look slow, you're going really fast.
Yep, Glenn Guest is. Looks like he's really just trying to control his car at the moment as he goes through. Quite a margin in front though, something that may be enough for the advantage at the end of the first full flying lap. So Glenn Guest, I presume, is just coming into this car now and learning it as he's driving it. So, oh yeah, he's hitting these curbs pretty hard as well, which isn't helping whatsoever because he keeps getting stuck. And he's done it again there. So
he's looking very slow around those corners.
You're absolutely right there, and it's still pretty close. But Glenn Guest is still in front of David Stanton here. And so lap 1 goes to Glenn Guest as they head on to lap 2.
Second in it, still all to play for, but you sense that David Stanton and Glenn Guest are both struggling with this track a little bit. We had about 20 minutes of practice before the race started, of official practice, but then it was not a lot of space on the track, as you can probably imagine, with 32 drivers at most taking each other out and trying to set a decent lap time and get to know the track. I mean, some people were here last year, weren't they, Nick? So they know it better than others.
Yeah, absolutely. People that raced last year obviously more used to it, but we've got a different group of cars, I guess. So it's a different beast to tame on different cars.
Indeed it is. And Glenn Guest and David Stanton both looking very close. There's the old wobble from both cars. They come round to finish their last lap here. David Stanton looking for a little bit of slow exit, a bit of a tank slapper coming around before he takes the hairpin. And Glenn Guest, I think, is going to run away with this one. It's quite a long way ahead, and there we go. In the end, there was only about 2 seconds in it, but that's enough for Glenn Guest and a black team win.
So what's that? Is that 1-1?
That is 1-1, yeah.
Yep, that's 1-1.
So it'll all come down to. I think it'll probably all come down to Ruud Heasterbeek versus Glenn Guest. If I'm honest with you, I think we're about to see. Yes, we are.
Which is this next race, which is Ruud Heasterbeek against Glenn Guest. So it'll be a battle of these two, and I think it'll be quite close between these two because they drive the car quite similarly, where they get the brake quite early and turn the car over the curbs and drive off, where others have been more oversteering the car and dabbing the throttle to keep the nose tucked in. So it's different driving styles, but these two actually drive very similarly.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting to see how many ways you can drive the same car. Are you an understeerer or are you more of an oversteerer, Nick?
Oh God, oversteer! I hate understeer with a passion.
You don't surprise me. Sounds like a few drivers that I know. I'm exactly the same. When I can actually drive, though, I usually get too much oversteer. Am I right in thinking Glenn hasn't taken the green flag? Yeah, he hasn't.
Yep, he's missed that one.
Oh dear. I think that was a little bit of a forgetful moment there. Never mind. I think we're onto the grid now. Glenn's already there, ready. Means that we'll have Ruud Heasterbeek. Good. Maybe he thinks he can get a jump start on him this time. Let's hope not. I don't think we've got a pit lane if there's a 10-second penalty. Here we go then. 15 seconds till the countdown begins. Hush, calm. What are you thinking at this point when you're sitting in the car, Nick?
I start staring at the lights, which is not actually the best thing to do. But mine goes blank. I just stare at the lights, which is not the best thing to do. Although it's worked for me on starts in Super League.
Yep, famous starts from Midnight Boys, and Ruud Heasterbeek also a famous start here, looking really good as he goes through that first corner. He's got the infield tough section to take first, but we'll see what kind of a go he can make of it. Looking good, and Glenn Guest also looking good. Maybe taking a bit less curb this time, or maybe not. Still, both his right. Oh, bit of a tank slapper there. I think he's probably using a bit too much curb there. Like half the car's over the curb, Nick.
Yeah, he did that in the last race, but Ruud was doing it as well. But Ruud started this race differently, and he's actually attacking it in a slightly different manner. So Ruud and Glenn are now adapting their styles, I guess. Oh no, Ruud's gone for the inside curbing again, so it'll be close between them because
both doing the same thing.
Yeah, diving on the inside curb. It's exactly the same way. It's just a question who's got the most momentum at the moment. It looks like Ruud Heasterbeek has the lead.
It does.
Come around to end the first lap.
Glenn Guest not looking good as he had a little tank slapper again. Just too much curb leading the car to kind of skid on. And Glenn Guest drifts around that first corner on the outside. I think he's gone very wide. This could be the end of it for him. Takes that corner a lot better. They're still using so much curb. Maybe kind of the Lewis Hamilton school of attacking corners. Oh, and he's almost gone around there again, but just saves it. Doing well in the saving of the car.
Yeah, it looks like Ruud's got this more hooked up now by the looks so they come on to their final run.
0.4 seconds.
Ruud will have the outside loop now.
0.4 seconds in it, and that probably is enough for Ruud to take the race, I'd have thought, but we've still got a lap to go. Glenn Guest takes that bit of curve, goes a little bit wide. Almost a bit too much curve. That's just pushing him out of the corner, kind of creating understeer, but I think Ruud staying clear around the hairpin. This is going to be a famous win for Ruud Heasterbeek. 2-1, I reckon. There we go.
It is 2-1 with another round to come. And it will be David Stanton, will it be?
Yeah, right? Versus Ben Warren.
Ben Warren, yeah.
So this one decides whether we see the first. Is it the first tiebreaker of the night? I think it may well be
the first tiebreaker. Yeah.
If that happens, we'll soon see what happens here. If Ben Warren can win this one, then it goes to a tiebreaker, which I would probably wager would be Heasterbeek versus Glenn Guest Part 2, wouldn't it?
I believe so. So it would be Stanton straight up against Ben Warren, and if Stanton wins, as we just said, he will progress, and Ben Warren will take it to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, of course, with a tiebreaker, the teams can choose whichever driver they'd like to fight the battle, whoever they think has got the measure of this brilliant Wembley Stadium track in the middle of London. And the lights are ready. Are you ready? And there we go, Ben Warren with a good start. Dave Stanton also looking good, and in fact, Stanton's got the nose going around the first corner. Obviously, he's got a different section to take, so we'll see what happens as they come across the line, but looking good so far. A little bit of drift there from David Stanton, trying his hardest to kind of push his way around the track. Ben Warren looking alright, but he's just gone a little wide in the hairpin there. This is really close.
Very close, and it looks like Ben Warren does have the slight advantage, but David Stanton's not too far back. So David Stanton, if he can get the next 2 laps sorted out, especially Ben's hooked on the curb and gone off. Ben dipped it off the track, so that's cost him quite a bit of time there.
Yeah, that could cause the end of it unless David makes a mistake as well. We'll soon find out. David Stanton comes around that hairpin there and then straight into another one. Nice and tightly taken, looking good. And we're on the outside. I think that David's got the measure of this one. I think it's fairly decent. Oh no, my mistake. Yep, I'm right. Sorry, looking at the wrong screen.
David Stanton ran deep in the first part of the intersection there as well. That might have cost him time.
May well have done. We'll see what happens. Big gap of 2 seconds as they cross the line on that second lap. So there's a lot for Ben to make up, and he's kind of locked up there, going through the corner into the hairpin. And yeah, you can see that David's got the advantage already, and he's got the outside track with the slightly less painful corners to take now.
Yep, final corner for Dave Stanton against Ben Warren. Ben Warren this time gets the inner loop sorted out, as he had a few issues with that inner curb. So I think it was too much so, because Dave Stanton's already underneath the bridge, and Ben hasn't even gone over he's not even through the hairpin. Out of the hairpin, Ben comes and goes over the bridge, but David Stanton is at the second to last corner, and David Stanton's going to make this 3-1, isn't he?
I think he is indeed. There we go. It's confirmed. David Stanton wins it, and he and Ruud Heasterbeek will go through for tomorrow. I'm sure that Ben will be quite unhappy with his performance, but he's done his best, I'm sure. I'm sure Tom Parker will be lording it up over him any minute now. Oh, it looks like Ben Warren's feedback on his wheel failed, so everything kind of went wrong there. It's a shame for him, but you can't really get a measure for that when you're racing, can you, Nick?
No, you can't. It's just a hugely unfortunate that, unless you have a reset. But we then have the final heat of the evening, which is David Junt and Mark Stanton against Lewis Redshaw and Rick Scott.
This could go either way as well. David Junt had his critics in the start of the year, maybe a little bit underachieving in the car that Phil Archer had. He's on his way. He's also been driving somewhere else tonight, so it'll be Mark Stanton starting first. And he'll be up against Lewis Redshaw. Mark Stanton, no slouch. He's done pretty well. Good fair amount of points finishes this year. And Lewis Redshaw in the Hawkeye. Yeah,
Mark Stanton's had a good season, and Lewis Redshaw is actually the driver that put me out of the race champions last year.
That was on his way to the final with Mark Stanton's brother as well. Redshaw slightly in the haze with James Shepherd as his teammate at Hawkeye this year in the Super League, but done a pretty good job consistently in the points. And I think we're about to see a really good race. Redshaw in the black, Stanton in the white.
This will be very, very close as well.
Here we go, lights out in any second now. And they're off. Great start from both of them. Mark Stanton just with his nose ahead, but he's still got that hairpin to take. Takes it really well. And here we go, Lewis Redshaw taking the first loop. Goes under the bridge. He's looking good too. Oh, bit of over drifting there from Redshaw. Almost gave himself too much to do with the final apex of the corner. Same with that hairpin, just a little bit of understeer. But then Mark Stanton's also on a bit of a drive, so I think he's a little bit behind there, Nick.
Yeah, looks like it. Mark Stanton's a little bit further back than he ideally want, but obviously the shorter route now, and he's had a great first section of the outer loop as he heads underneath the bridge. He got a lot of speed through there, so it seems that Mark Stanton prefers the outer loop, and then he comes into the inner loop, inner section now of that part, and it's very, very close, but it looks like Lewis Redshaw does have the edge at the moment over Mark Stanton.
In front. I think it's going to be about a second in it. Yeah, 1.1 seconds. 1.2 seconds, sorry, yeah. Oh, and Mark's just overdone it a little bit into that first hairpin. All to play for still, but you think that Mark's got a lot of work to do here, Nick.
He has, and he's run deep in the middle section as well, so he's gonna come over the bridge now, and yeah, he's fallen quite a way back, so Mark's got a lot of work to do here as they go on to their final tour. Very close.
3.2 seconds in it. Lewis Redshaw needs to keep it on the straight and narrow, well, as much as he can with a curved course like this, and then he'll be in a good shot of winning this race.
Oh, Mark spun! Mark spun!
Oh, and he
dances it up, he went over the curb. He half spun over the curb, but got it going again.
Well saved.
Lewis Redshaw's race.
Well saved, and actually not a bad gap considering 2.3 seconds, but Lewis Redshaw takes first blood there. Along with, and he'll be racing again later on, but first I think we'll have his racing manager, Rick Scott, taking on Mark Stanton.
It's going to be Mark against Rick as they wait for David Junt to join, so Mark Stanton up against Rick Scott.
Rick Scott, a bit of an unknown, known for driving sometimes, but more of a team manager, an astonishing livery creator. Been in the GPVWC on and off since 2000, which is longer than me actually.
We also have to applaud the huge effort he put into the little figurines that were presented at the meet as well, which are extremely impressive, all hand painted, and they were exceptional pieces to hand out to a couple of drivers there.
Those were absolutely gorgeous. I'd quite like one of my own team next year. Maybe I ought to pay him for it. Stanton also a great kind of designer, and he's got a much better start there. Stanton also known for doing helmet creations, those little figurines online that we had, those wonderful little caricatures, and also mobile phone cases, which I may well be ordering one at some point soon. Here we go then, Rick Scott into the corner. Thankfully doesn't quite follow that big old line that's been left for him. It's looking close here, Stanton just tapping the wall.
And Rick had a big oversteer then as well, so Rick's had a bit of a moment in the final corner as he goes onto the inner loop section.
Yeah, I have it all to do there then. He's got the tougher section of the course now. He's going around the corners nicely now. He's looking a lot better than he was a moment ago when he had that little off into the wall. Still looking a bit slow though. Stanton will fancy himself to make it 1-1 here.
Absolutely, and Rick is coming round now.
Yeah, so the gap's looking quite big. 3.0 seconds.
Yeah, it's gone up now. So Rick will go on to the outer loop section before back into the inner loop, so he's just got to get it all together. Looks like he's got getting to grips with this car now. That first run really looked like he was in complete no man's land, but he's not too bad at the moment.
Doing really well here. Mark Stanton looking good here as well. This is going to be even closer than we thought. There we go. Oh,
half spun,
tank slapper. Yeah, a tank slapper there, and that might not help him, especially as he's got the slower section of the track to do now. 2.1 seconds in it. It can just throw you these cars, can't they, Nick? Just the one little over kind of correction and that you're out of it. Here we go then, Mark Stanton just wobbling it over the line. And there we go, he'll win the race.
So it goes to 1-1, and so Rick we'll just now wait for his teammates in David Junt.
Yes, David Junt out fighting a different battle elsewhere tonight, but hopefully he'll be here any moment, or I guess will we disqualify him? I doubt we would, but otherwise I might have to go and drive instead. That would be quite nice, but probably hilarious. Maybe not.
Well, it's one each anyway, so Mark won his in the second race and Lewis Redshaw won the first race, so we should then see, I think it'll be Lewis Redshaw against David Junt will be the next one. Indeed,
the onus is going to be on David Junt to try and win both races, just so that he can do his best. And he's here now. We'll be with you any second as we await the cars on track.
And it is David Junt against Lewis Redshaw.
nice quiet hush around the stadium as we get ready for this race. Nick, have you enjoyed the action so far tonight?
It's been great. I think it's been very interesting racing into these two different cars as well, between the Legend and the Peugeot. And I think it's going to be even more exciting tomorrow when we move on to the next rounds.
There's a rumour that there will be some BMWs and some Renaults in there as well. I think they were meant to be here tonight, but a technical failure means that we're seeing these cars, and that's not such a bad thing. Brilliant cars here tonight, and hopefully even less time for the people to have to practice for tomorrow with the other cars. Here we go. And they're off. Great start from both. I think Lewis Redshaw just as nose ahead, especially as David Junt taps the barrier there on his way around the hairpin. I suppose the only problem with coming straight from another race is that you have to kind of ignore anything you've learned with this car, don't you, Nick?
Yep, absolutely, and I think it's all part of the learning process coming straight in. Oh, look, sorry, Lewis Redshaw's just had 2 moments there around the hairpins in the inner section, and he's run wide again, but he still carries enough momentum to get it done, and that's quite a large advantage.
Oh, he's very, very lucky there, and just to keep it the right way. Lose a fair amount of time there. He'll lose a fair amount of time there, but I'm sure he will be able to make it up as we go around. He's still looking a bit gingerly through those corners as he hits the bridge now. A little bit of a crest as David Junt has the kind of lead here. As we say, still 2 laps to go. It's looking very close. 0.152 seconds in it. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, it's 1/10 of a second between them, and I think Lewis Redshaw would have had much more if he hadn't had that moment. So let's see now if he's able to try and gain back what it looked like he would have had in these in the next few laps, as he's on the inner section again now, where he had the moments before, as he now drives to the line to start the final run.
Do you think that's a disadvantage, having to do the intersection last?
I don't know, to be honest. It just depends on how comfortable you are. It does not look like Lewis is very comfortable at all, because he hit the barrier twice. Yeah, he ran the hairpin. Goes. I think it's just driver preference. Some drivers may prefer the outer and some of the inner. I personally prefer the outer loop.
Fair enough. Junt's still looking behind, like he's going to lose this one though. There you go. Lewis Redshaw wins it. 0.9 seconds in it, but that's 2-1 to Redshaw. Now Junt has got to take it for the team and really fight towards having a decider here. We'll have Rick Scott taking him on. This could be too close to call. Do we have a decider in the final race of the night, or is it going to be a whole night without any kind of tiebreaker? We'll soon find out.
So we got, if David wins, it's a tiebreaker, is it? And then Rick,
it is indeed. And
then Rick wins, Rick goes through. So see if Rick can step up from what he just had before. And it'll be, I think, we're quite close between these two as well, to be honest with you.
Yep, and the winner
we may see our first tiebreaker in a final event as well.
It'll be brilliant to see that. Not every day you go through the Race of Champions without a tiebreak. And whoever wins this race takes on Alex Cooper and Ray Shorten in the next round tomorrow. Here we go. It's go, 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 and David Junt, brilliant start from him. He leaps around the first corner. Rick Scott off and away though.
Oh, Rick's hit the wall though, just going into the intersection there, underneath the bridge. See if he can try and claw that back, but yeah, it was a great start there from David Junt.
David Junt out to prove his worth ahead of the 2013 season. He's a little bit wide there, just taps the wall, which gives Rick the advantage coming through the line, only just like literally hundredths of a second in, and Rick's taken the barrier a little bit too hard there with the intersection, the more technical intersection for Rick Scott now. David Junt stuck on the wall though, not looking good. This is going to be a bit of a romp through to the end, a bit scrappy here maybe, but Junt's got enough of an advantage here as we go to the halfway stage. Sorry, I just punched my
Rick just had a huge oversteer moment as well.
He's had another one. Oh, he's just about keeps it going around there. Got to try and keep the chicane as short as possible. Very nicely done. David Junt having a little bit of a lockout there as he comes around the hairpin up to the bridge. This is going to be really tight, and it really is. David Junt just about ahead. Rick Scott literally 7/10 behind, but he's got the much tougher section now to take. But then again, Junt's just hit the wall there. Wow, this is a really scrappy affair. This could be a tie break. Oh, and Junt just overdoes it. A little bit of brake lock there. almost kind of comes to a halt in the middle of the corner.
Looks like Junt will take it though, because Rick's only just come over the bridge and into the final corner now.
There we go.
Junt does take it.
And that's going to be a decider, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so. We do have ourselves the first tiebreaker.
Great way to finish the night. The big tiebreaker that will see who gets picked. So the drivers get to choose between themselves who is going to represent each other. So they put their best pairing out. Could be very, very tense. Same old premise, 4 laps around the track, 2 of each section. And the winner will go through to the quarterfinal tomorrow night. Lewis Redshaw bravely steps up for his team. I think it's going to be David Junt, but they're going to have a little bit of a fight for it first, possibly. You can find out. Who would you pick in this, Nick?
From 2 teams, yeah, I think Lewis from the one team, and I'll probably pick Mark Stanton.
Lewis and Mark Stanton. I'd have gone for Junt myself, but then again, scrappy racing there. In fact, it is going to be DJ by the looks of it. I think Mark has graciously let David Junt go, because then he doesn't have to take the blame himself, does he?
Yeah, we shift it onto the other bloke.
Fair enough, and very, very teammate-oriented sport here. The Race of Champions. Here we go. After this, we'll have a quick recap of who's going to be in the quarterfinals, ready for tomorrow night. So you just got the little countdown now. It's going to be Junt versus Redshaw. Junt in the black. Sorry, Junt in the white, Redshaw in the black.
I think we'll see Redshaw progress in this one, I think.
I think you may be right, but this is the Race Champions. Anything can happen. Both drivers had their own little moments on their race laps in the previous races. And here we go. Done with a good start. Lewis Redshaw quite smoky, but then again, they're both really, really too close to call as they go off on their separate ways. Redshaw coming through the chicane, doesn't tap the wall. Great work there from him. And Junt has to take this technical section first. It's probably an advantage that you can really go for it in the shorter section the second time and last time round. Looking like Redshaw's got quite the advantage though, as he taps the wall. There we go, it's going to be 1.8 seconds with the gap. But then again, Redshaw's still got that technical aim to go. I think he's probably got about a second in hand on that. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I think he's got a nice little advantage when as soon as we see him go over the bridge. And it looks like David Junt's had a lot of tyre smoke there, a bit of oversteer. It's not quite big as I thought it was, so he's pulled a bit back. And
it's going to be very close.
Will have the advantage. Just does he? Yes, he does. 3/10.
3/10 in it. David Junt just eating the wall there a little bit too much, more than he'd hope. And this is really tense. The real decider here as to who goes through and who will actually make it tomorrow and who will be left sitting in this massive stadium watching the cars go around. Redshaw with the advantage. Done a fair way about behind him, but we know what happened last time. 1.5 in fact, the gap slightly less than last time. They did this crossing. And Redshaw almost overdoes it through the curb and throws himself into the wall, but keeps it going, and again a little bit of a lock up. But David Junt's lost it. Halfway through.
That's going to be it done then, is it? Lewis. Oh no! Oh no! Redshaw's going to hit the wall, is he?
That
was so close.
The closest finish you'd ever ask for. 0.15 of a second in it, and Junt crashes his car in disgust. Maybe if he'd not just met the wall in that final 2 corners, he would be through. But it's Lewis and Rick that go through to tomorrow night's final. Right, let's recap the pairings then. So, Lucas Euler and Mark Fuller went through tonight versus Jana Vanlin and Pavel Luknovsky. And they will take on David Gaspers and Eric Tveit, who managed to beat Borna Spojaric and Scott Bennett in the final. In their round this evening rather. I will stop speaking so quickly now. Ruud Heasterbeek and David Stanton will go through. They beat Glenn Guest and Ben Warren. And then Roland and Toyka will hopefully get a rest from commentary, won't you, Nick?
I believe so, yeah.
And they'll be taking on Heasterbeek and Stanton. On the other side of the draw, I can get it. There we go. Paresis and Liechtenstein. They went through against Nieminen and Tringus. And I believe they'll be taking Melhuish and Parker
Yep.
in the quarterfinals. That'll be a really good race to watch. And then Cooper and Schroten, who beat Alex Rolls and Jason Muscat, and they'll be up against Lewis Redshaw and Rick Scott. Lewis Redshaw making it through. Will he make it to the final again? Well, we'll see you tomorrow night. Nick, thank you for stepping in on short notice. Tomorrow night, I believe, will be myself, Simon Smith, and Bradley Vanian joining in to talk you through the final and the quarterfinal and the semi-final of this great event. Have you enjoyed yourself, Nick?
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting to do the commentary side of it, but it's been a lot of fun to do the commentary and obviously also compete. So excellent work from yourself there, Ollie. Also a great job.
Thank you very much. Should we see if anyone wants to be interviewed, or should we leave it there? What do you think?
I think we'll leave the one tonight because I think we'll be better tomorrow night to see how it goes with the quarterfinals, semi-finals and final.
I think you might be right. Okay, then thank you also to Simon Malhuish for doing our cameras when he wasn't busy racing. Been a really good night, a really interesting night here, and we'll have to see how things go from here on in. I've been Ollie Woods. This has been GPVWC. Thank you very much. Good night.